All right, well, nearly 40% of people will be diagnosed with some sort of cancer at some point during their lives. This year, an estimated 1.7 million new cases of cancer will be diagnosed here in the United States alone. Today is World Cancer Day, raising awareness to save lives. Joining me now to talk about the importance of clinical trials in tomorrow's cancer treatments are two doctors from the Sarah Cannon Cancer Institute of HCA with two of their patients. Dr. Erika Hamilton is the director of the Breast and Gynecological Cancer Research Program. With her is Shannon. She is battling breast cancer. And Dr. Todd Bauer is the associate director of drug development. With him is Matt Hisney. He is a non-smoker battling stage 4 lung cancer. Shannon, Matt, thank you so much for telling your stories. And to the doctors at the end of the couch, so you know who everybody is here, thank you for what you're doing for them. I'll first ask, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
And you're all part of these clinical trials right now. And how are you doing?
I'm doing outstanding.
You were diagnosed with lung cancer at the early age of 24. Here you are 4 years later, and you have a message, and that message is cancer's not a death sentence anymore. What has this done for you?
A clinical trial, it gives you more time. These therapies aren't necessarily the end of the road for someone, and my cancer, it's come back a number of times, and I've had the option to go to a clinical trial. And really what they, like I said, is that they give you more time, and it might be a couple of months, and then another therapy comes along that I can progress to, and eventually it might not be the answer right away, but eventually I might get to that therapy that ultimately ends up, controlling my cancer for the remainder of my life.
Doctor, when he came to you as a patient, how do you know when a cancer patient is a good candidate for a clinical trial?
That's a great question. I think all patients should be considered for clinical trials up front. The best therapies we have today, I think, are still on clinical trials. Standard care is available, and that's helpful, but the newer and more exciting drugs are on clinical trials. We look at the patient, at their cancer, at the specific mutations in the DNA of their cancer, and try and match them as best we're able to a specific drug that works to control cancer, like Matt.
And then Shannon, your story, you're a mother of two boys. You are currently engaged in this battle. The clinical trial, it has opened you up to an entire new world as a cancer patient.
Absolutely.
So what is the drug and what is your life like these days?
It's busy, but I make do, and it's working great.
And doctor, when she came to you, how did you know that she would be a good candidate for this clinical trial?
Yeah, what's interesting about Shannon's cancer is she has a specific type of aggressive breast cancer called HER2 positive breast cancer. That's about 15% of breast cancers. And as opposed to 10% of all breast cancers eventually trying to travel to the brain for brain metastases, about 50% of these HER2 positive breast cancers do. And so what made Shannon a particularly attractive patient for a clinical trial is a lot of our standard approved medicines for HER2 positive breast cancer work great in the body, but they don't cross into the brain very well. And Shannon having brain metastases, this new drug that she's on, ONT-380, what makes it special is not only does it work in the body, it crosses into the brain particularly well. It's a pill that she can take at home, and it really doesn't come with too many side effects like rash and stomach upset that some of the other ones do.
I think we all know a family member, a friend who's found out that they have cancer, and it's so nice to know that there are so many more options out there today on a day where we're all raising awareness. Thank you both for sharing your stories with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to have you, and all the best to you. And doctors, thank you for everything you're doing.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.